Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I would like to discuss my thoughts, feelings, etc. on Fire Emblem Engage. And while I am currently playing through it for a second time, today's video, as well as the next video about my top 10 favorite characters, will primarily be focused on that first playthrough. So these are my initial thoughts, feelings, etc. There will be spoilers ahead, and it'll be very rambly, which is just kind of my style. So enjoy the ravings of a mad dragon. When I first found out about this game, I was pretty excited. I love Fire Emblem. I didn't really understand all the flack people gave the character design. I find them to be silly. I was, willing to give it a chance. I wasn't sure at first, but they grew, Alir grew on me. After that first reveal trailer, I actually avoided almost everything about this game until it came out, because I wanted to go in as blind as possible. The only thing that I saw before was my friend made me watch the trailer where it talked about the training, just so I could see Ponytail Alir, and then my friend also showed me Rosado, because they felt that I would really like them. My general thoughts now that I've played the game. Really, really fun. I was way more invested than I thought I would be. The characters really are kind of the driving force. The story, while mostly a lot of, standard Fire Emblem stuff, had a lot of cool moments. And I was a lot more emotionally invested than I thought I would be. I did not expect to cry during this game. But I did. And it was just so good. The gameplay is phenomenal. The characters are a lot of fun. The story, while a little generic at times, and it starts a little rough with everyone basically fangirling over the main character, as it progresses, it really kind of hits its stride. And I appreciate that about it. In terms of the story, a few moments that I really liked were... I'll get into some of this more when I talk about the individual characters, but I liked Ivy's arc. The way that she went from an enemy to an ally. The more I think about it, the more I appreciate and understand Hortensia's journey being different than her sister's. Alir... I had a lot more growth than I expected. Alir being somewhat of a deity felt a little weird at first, especially with how much everyone just went along with it. But as you went on and saw their insecurities and how much they worked, it was really cool to me. And then at the end, towards the end, when you get the twist that Alir is actually the child of the big bad, actually a fell dragon. While Alir is having this kind of crisis, everyone else just kind of goes, well, that's not ideal, but you've been here this entire time. We know who you are by now. It doesn't matter who your parent is. One of the things in life that I believe is people should be judged for who they are as themselves, not who their parents are, who they're associated with, what group they belong to. Everyone is an individual, and so that part was really cool. The stuff with Vale was very interesting. I like how, they give you this mysterious character who almost seems like she knows way too much, but also nothing at the same time. The way they worked with the pseudo brainwashing stuff was a little bit weird, but I did enjoy the dynamic it gave. The scene with her and Alir after Alir, sacrificed herself was so touching. It was really wholesome in a way. It was much more emotional than I expected it to be for that kind of a thing. The Hounds of Justice were a very interesting group of bad guys. I didn't really care for them much, but Marnie's sacrifice was what I would like to think of as a pretty good heroic sacrifice moment. She was just trying to help her friend. She wasn't out to do anything else. She just wanted to save her friend. Zephyr, I wasn't as big on her sacrifice, but it was very fitting for her. Especially once we got to the time travel chapter. That was that made a lot of interesting backstory stuff. Talking about characters. I love the characters in this game. Trying to narrow it down to a top 10 was excruciating, and I'm still not 100% sure on it. If I were to do honorable mentions, I would have like almost the entire cast. Everyone has some fun moments, and especially going through a second playthrough using different characters. You know, every Fire Emblem game, you have characters that you don't use just because there's not enough unit space. It's so much fun to go through and kind of explore some of the characters you might have overlooked. Their interactions, support conversations, the bond conversations with the emblems. There's so much personality. Some characters I started off being kind of not too excited about, but then as I used them, they really grew on me. Especially the person who's going to end up at number 1 on my list, so look forward to that. I adore the characters and their interactions. Some of my favorite supports were Rosado and Marin. That cute versus cool thing is just really fun, and I wish we got those kind of romance things at the end for people outside of just Alir. That made me a bit sad that everyone kind of went their own way. I couldn't marry my units. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is. The emblems, I thought, at first I'm just like, oh, it's just, you know, nostalgia stuff, whatever. But the way they implemented them into the gameplay was so cool. Everything from the engraving system to allow your units to hit or change how the weapons work. That was really cool. Being able to patch up weaknesses in certain characters or turn already strong characters into just unstoppable killing machines was really, really cool. I ended up not necessarily engaging as much as I would have liked to in my first playthrough, but every time I did, it was really cool. Kind of a less obvious thing for the engagement, and from my opinion or perspective, is the character's hair changing color to match the emblem. That was really cool. Some of those characters look amazing with alternate hair colors. One I only noticed recently was Fram with with Lucina's hair. That looked way cooler than I thought it would. In general, it was really, really cool. Really fun. Was very surprised at how well implemented the emblems were, in my opinion. Some of my favorite moments with the emblems, just from that playthrough, were Ike and Panette basically being an unstoppable murder machine. Just send her into the middle of a map solo, and let her go to town. Everyone comes, does either 0 damage or miss, and then she slaughters them. Another one is Yunaka and Lynn. Yunaka already has insane speed, plus Alacrity or whatever it's called from Lynn. Being able to just double everything. But then Astra Storm became a hilarious way to just be like, huh, see that unit over there? Not anymore, it's dead. I really had a lot of fun just sniping things from across the map with her. And I just, on a whim, gave her Lynn because fast character. Make fast faster with Alacrity. I enjoyed Marth just making people really good dodge tanks. Sigurd, especially on Marin with the hit and run style, was really funny. Just go in, smack them, run away, and that range you get when you engage with Sigurd, and you could basically run across the entire map, is really, really good stuff. One kind of minor complaint I have about the gameplay is some of the maps feel really small, and you notice that like mounted units in older games just had crazy movement range. But in this game, it definitely feels lessened. They still have more range, and they still, have their value. I think it does make some of the non-mounted classes a bit more viable for someone like me. I just want to run in and kill everything. And non-mounted units can't do that as well because they get left behind by your flyers, like my Panette with the Griffin Knight or Wyvern Knight or the Ivy. All the flying units will always be some of the best units in a Fire Emblem game, just by the nature of them ignoring terrain. It's really cool. The size of the maps could be bigger, but I think they work well with it for the most part. A couple maps you can definitely accidentally cheese, such as Celica's Paralog, where you just put someone in range of her Warp Ragnarok and get her into a position where you can, kill her off in round 2. It's so funny, but I definitely had to make sure, I wanted to actually get a little bit more experience out of that Paralog, so I had to restart it so I didn't accidentally kill her right away. I don't like giving rankings to things. My next video will be my top 10 characters. I've decided to split this up. Originally, it's just going to be one video with my review and my top 10. But personally, I just think it'll be easier to make them 2 separate videos. I'm not going to give any sort of rating system. Besides, if you enjoy Fire Emblem games, or if you enjoy watching fun characters, play this game. It's super fun. I am way more addicted than I need to be, but I cannot praise enough how much I love this game. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. I will try to get that top 10 video out as soon as I can. Might take a minute to get the footage for that. For this video, I probably just put a random battle in the background because I'm probably too lazy to actually put that much effort into this. This is a pretty informal kind of review thingy, but I will see you next time. Otsurin, bye-bye.